So yeah, I was watching the news this morning and it said um there was how many thousand? 55,000. Now I just saw something but more than that. So um let me describe you what was happening. I'm gonna show you guys my ticket. I was on the Greyhound and I got to LAX, and you guys, I've seen Berkeley's fires. And I'm just lying back because they gave me a free freaking voucher for Motel 6. So I made it to Texas and I am breathing. Like, I'm so grateful. But I didn't know that that happened in Los Angeles because I passed through Los Angeles about a lot of times in my life. And let me tell you how scary this was. I was so scared. We were on the road in the Greyhound bus. I'm going to show you guys my ticket. So, yeah, I was so scared that we weren't going to be able to make it out because, and God bless everybody who had a hard time. I had an incident in my town where I come from where there was a factory who was smogging up the town, and I wore a mask in my house where I lived in my apartment for about a month before I literally abandoned my home because the factory didn't want to quit. It was a sugarcane mill. And that's what happened in Los Angeles. The fire was everywhere. And I was scared that we were going to run over. You know how you see that in the movies? Like the bus goes over like a fire line, and it was not a joke. So it's just a warning to anybody because we're having a lot of stuff going on in my personal life right now. And um, it's a warning to anybody. Check the weather. These phones and stuff, like, it wouldn't be any use for me to have the phone. That's why I didn't post immediately about anything to help anybody out. That's like the news reporters did it this morning. I got here in Texas. I'm in El Paso, and yeah, it wouldn't have been any use for me to, film or do anything because the wires, you understand what I'm saying? The wiring of the stuff, all the wires everywhere would have been like, it was just nuts. That's all I could say about it. So, my advice to everybody, I mean, I got out fine, and the whole bus was coughing. Everybody was coughing on the bus, on the Greyhound. If you don't believe me, I want to show you my ticket. So, yeah, you wet a towel, and it's not rocket science, you know. So you wet or your shirt, and I had a shirt on, okay? So I had a cotton shirt, thank goodness. And I literally grabbed my water bottle and I pulled my shirt over like this, and I wet it like this. And I did that for about an hour. And you didn't think it was serious? Like, I didn't think it was like, I just couldn't believe my eyes. And it was like it just didn't like sink in. So it's like I caught a coughing problem, but my body is very used to stress by now. So this is horrible, and it just seemed like the news got worse. So I'm out here, and I've been traveling for like a day. So it's literally went from hell to heaven because like it was on fire. Everything, all I could see was this red sky over the LAX, like the bus entrances where the buses go, and I'm like under the bus part, and it when you look over the building, when you're outside of this high level on this of the platform, all you could see is these the smoke. And I remember looking over my head and I was like, wait a minute, that happens in it happened in Berkeley one time, one or twice times to me. And I never thought it was going to happen ever anywhere else because I mean that only happens like rare on these fires. So I didn't know. That's the thing. It's just I didn't know because I'm not a local person. I've been staying in Berkeley, and I have been scareder than anything else in the world to leave Berkeley. And finally, I left because I wanted to. I'm going to get myself a house voucher, and for Section 8, like finally, right? And finally I left and the fire followed. Yeah, it literally, I never seen, I've been through Los Angeles, Hollywood, right? Hollywood was on fire too. We were driving, that was the first city we went through, and Hollywood was like, and I'm not saying like it was fire everywhere, but it was smoke everywhere. And the smoke was like covering the sky, and then it started coming down towards where the bus was, where we were. And then next thing I knew, I was in Los Angeles, and I'm gonna put some pictures somewhere because I was sitting in front of this fish tank in the LAX airport, and everybody's just coughing, and um, I don't think anybody knew what was going on except for like a few people. And then this person sitting next to me tells me that there was a um, fire. This fire broke out somewhere. Um, I'm showing you guys my ticket for Greyhound. This is me. I was gonna put some pictures up, but no, this is me right here. If you guys can see, that's me in LA, LAX airport in front of. Let me see, because that's me in front of the water tank, and there's a water tank in, interesting looking. So that's me in there, and what else? Here's my Greyhound ticket right here. Okay, here we go. You guys see where it says it's Greyhound right there. It's all Greyhound stuff. And I'm breathing fine, and it's because I know that little trick, and I've actually had to do that before, and it's not fun, and it was so scary because the amount of um smoke was just kind of unbelievable. And I really, really was praying for um, everybody to get out of there. There were so many people; it was unbelievable. I couldn't imagine the airplanes. I mean, I don't even know what to say. It just seemed like it was just kind of an impossible situation. And Los Angeles, I didn't know that. So that's just helpful to check with local people, and to really ask people questions, because you don't know what really happens in a certain area. And if you are going to, be used to things like the local people are very used to witnessing and used to knowing about. And if you're looking at some news channel and they're talking about 50,000 people are just trying to run for their life, it's not a joke, because we left at, I think, 3 in the afternoon. And I was about to start breaking in somebody's car or something. I was gonna do anything to get myself out of there. I'm traveling by myself, but I just had it. That was it. That's all I could say was I was going to like jack something and get out of, like, drive myself, because the bus was taking too long. So we had a layover for an hour, and I couldn't take it anymore. I was just like, yeah, it was two, matter of fact, it was 2 hours, and I couldn't take it anymore. And it was so much patience, like, you know um everybody was being tested, their patience. So okay, but I'm trying to go to sleep. It's so much excitement everywhere for so many things going on. And I just want to share um how I got through the it's not even been like a day. And um they're showing all kinds of stuff on the news. And I'm not a type of person to like run towards the media, and run towards stuff on TV. I just don't live like that. And I'm a handicapped person, so I don't I don't automatically just jump into doing anything. I take my time, and I'm very, very um low key, you know, just because it's always safer just to do stuff. And to people talk about the internet and how it's always the internet and the media and how it's, not real, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, it's not really my style, but this time and asking people in advance, and it would have been very helpful. And it's actually snowing out here uh, in El Paso. So like I said, I went from the bottom of hell, and it was bad. And it snowed in when I first got here, so I couldn't leave. I was supposed to be going to my location to get registered with everything else I'm supposed to be doing with my life and getting a house with Section 8. And good luck to everybody. And if you're doing anything, make sure that you take precaution and don't expect people to really answer the phone. I'm talking about if you want like a live response from the local people, because I wasn't going to answer anything. And then I started getting messages about personal life, family situation, and I didn't get any messages until the next day because I was wiped out and I wasn't trying to talk to anybody because I was running. Literally, we were like um, going and pushing the gas so fast to get out and praying that the gas tank didn't catch on flame, because I'm telling you, it was not a joke. And what else was I going to say? That uh, it was what else was I going to say? That yeah, the power line situation, what was a really big concern, because I started trying to about to text one of my family members about what was going on, and I said to myself, well, what's the percentage of power lines that are left and not melted away? And you can see the flames in front of you, but we by the time we passed through Hollywood, it was enough smoke. And it was this enormous cloud I just noticed on my left side. I remember looking at it, and it was enormous, and it was like far out, but it was enormous, and it looked like this dark cloud. And I'm thinking to myself, where's the fire coming from? But it was this huge cloud, and then nobody said anything. The bus driver didn't say anything, and I was looking at it. And by the time we got to Los Angeles, the LAX airport, they weren't telling people to run or evacuate, which they probably should have, because my breathing, and then the associates were coughing in front of me. And by the time I was like 30 minutes about to get on the bus, I remember talking to this guy, and he was like coughing a lot. And I was like starting to pull my shirt up and wetting it and stuff. And it was just bad. And there were kids everywhere. It was just horrible. So, but I was thinking about the power lines. Okay, so yeah, just like don't expect a whole lot. I mean, that's Superman's job, right? Just how are we all supposed to talk? I mean, anybody about anything, and I don't know what I was gonna do. So I noticed there's people here who just evacuated. It's incredible what's going on, and the city is huge. I just went to Walgreens, and there's a lot of people already here, and yeah, so yeah, it is snowing. And just to let you guys know, as of today, which is today is the Thursday, the 9th. You see me right there. You see anything about the date? You see Thursday, the 9th, right here. You see my finger where it was. Yeah, but yeah, it's all that stuff. So it's snowing here. So if you're gonna evacuate, you gotta. I left my shoes on the bus, my boots, my only pair of boots, winter boots, which I tried super hard to pack up, and I have 4 bags, and I couldn't remember that. my my boots are somewhere on the bus, the Greyhound. I left them for sure. Um, I for sure did, and it's like I have to catch an entirely new bus. So yeah. Anyway, I just want to talk about that. So, um, and snow is not any different. Cold is not anything else. More safe, because I got sick where I was a couple years ago, uh, all the way around Colorado, and it was so cold. I did. I got almost got pneumonia, but I just couldn't take being in the Bay Area with so many rats. As a person who was camping and didn't have housing, and um, I don't see how the rich people there have no rat problem. The rats were taking shits. Like I had a well, taking. I am gonna have to cut that out. Yeah. So yeah, they were. Actually, I'm just gonna edit that right now. But yeah, the rats were literally. I had a box, like an enormous crate. Well, it was about a meter, and it was about like 3 feet deep. So it was like one of those big boxes, you know. And it was a big black rubber box, and I stored my food in there, and it stayed cold because of the water, the ocean water, which was down the road. At night, everything got cold. So these rats were attacking my box, and they were attacking my camp. And I don't camp by anybody, so mine's just like on this like there was a project for what do you call it? It's a project for farming in Alameda, which we have what do you call that? Sand everywhere, but we didn't give a damn. We just want to farm. It's still a farming project, right? And it was a successful one too. So yeah, my camp was in there, and cared about that. But the rats were not seen in the daytime ever. I've never seen one. But give the nighttime, the darkness falls, they are in the bushes. One cool thing about my camp was it was surrounded by rose bushes. I had a gate um, on both sides of me, and then the back and the front were open. But that was just how the thing was built in the project, the farming project. So um, I put my tent, my tarps, all over the gates, and it was blanketed on both sides and all around. You see, like both sides of the thing, and then all on top and around. So and at the bottom, I covered at the bottom too, and um, the rats started ripping holes in the thing. They're aggressive and fighting to get into my crate that I was just talking about. And a couple times I've seen a couple of them. Well, one neighbor up the street, she told me she lived in an apartment, and she lived in a uh well, she didn't have a very nice apartment, but that's a very rich neighborhood. It's Alameda by the water. Um, and there's the homeless project in the back, right on the military base. But yeah, she said that she heard rats in the walls all night, and their problem there seems too big. So I just wanted to abandon ship. Actually, that's what I felt about it, because I just can't take it anymore. Because it looks like there's a harbor bay, and but it is abandoned, and it's an old military base. Like 90% of the back of it, I guess it's 100%, right? But I don't go. I haven't gone to the way to the back. That place is enormous. I haven't gone way to the back of it, but I don't want to make this video too long. But I just wanted to talk about that. But yeah, I was talking about the military base in Alameda, and um, I'm telling you, Louisiana, where I'm from, Mississippi, and some parts of Texas, we have insane amounts of snakes. Okay, so you might not like snakes, but my people and background, we do not appreciate rats. Um, we appreciate the snakes, probably. I know it sounds completely crazy, but we probably would appreciate that more than the rats. Um, so the snakes, which live every corner of everywhere around the bayous, they do not keep snakes around, right? So they don't, there's no such thing as, I'm sorry, rats. Yeah, the population of rats is not there. Um, we don't want snakes everywhere, but they definitely took care of that, and I never appreciated that. And I didn't like the rats that I was encountering for the last couple of years here. I'm sorry, back in California, and I didn't like that, and I didn't like them. Um, they never jumped on me. Like I never had any of them like attacked on me, but I had they got in the food. Duh. Got in the food, got in get into so many things, and then they start taking a crap on everything. And then they kind of start acting like they're your pet, like they're your cat. And it's the middle of the night, but they're sneaking around. And I woke up, I know for the last couple of weeks, in my crate, rat poop, right? Rat poop all over it. And luckily, I would still have my food, and the crate is sealed. But twice occasion, what happened? Twice occasion, I found a rat in the crate, and I had to learn how to use a lot of Tupperware, and it's a lot of adjustments to do with your life. But I had to have food, and I mean, that's the rules of the city that I'm living, that I got to live in, of Alameda, and right. So I learned to use Tupperware, and anything that I wanted to eat, you just had to hope and pray that it would be no rats all over it. But I learned to just to use Tupperware, and I bought a lot of Tupperware, which wasn't expensive at the dollar store. And I stored chips, anything, sandwiches, even sometimes fish and stuff like overnight, because like I said, it got really cold, and the condensation and the cold temperatures about 50 degrees, usually and less at nighttime, and um, that keeps the food cold. In the daytime, it wasn't that hot, like ever. And my for the tarp that I had over the whole thing, the tarp that I had over it kept stuff cold too. And it was in the back. It was a very curious looking situation, but yeah, my crate was in the back of the tent, and the tarp was over it. I'm telling you, my food was always cold. It was great. And I had beverages all the time. Usually big gallons of water, and they were always cold. It was like a refrigerator. It wasn't ice in there. It wasn't like a freezer, but it was good. It worked out, and I would probably do it again. I would probably do that little technique wherever I'm going, if I get, because I just learned something while being out. I feel like it was a good thing that happened to me. And uh, I don't know what else I want to say, but that's that's I don't know what else I want to say. So